Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm back. I just wanted to say hi to you. I had a few things I needed to tell you. I think I'm going to break it down into 2 videos because it turns out that I have a lot to talk about leading into what I want to talk about. Yeah. Anyway, first thing is, let's just go ahead and focus on the big elephant in the room. Yes, look at the sheen. No grays. I don't see the grays here. They might be trying to pop in. But, because it's growing. So that shows me when I have growth, when I get some grays. Yes, right? Now, when I first woke up, though, it was a little more stringy, and I had to actually let it, it had to draw up a little bit. It had to, like, get a little more hydrate, like, you know, what is the word, steamed. And I've had to put a little water on it, and I had to mess with it a little bit. But, look at that. I'm just so excited about it. What do y'all think? Comment below and let me know if you see progress in my hair. So I just did my routine yesterday. So to answer a few questions right off the bat, I don't know if I've already said, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for subscribing, all my new subscribers. I'm getting so many every day, and I just want to thank you so much for choosing my channel to come to and learn. So I appreciate it. I've gathered all that I've learned from YouTube and all that I've learned in general, and I want to bring this up, make this a one-stop shop for you so that you can, you know, be learning. You could be growing with me, and you're watching my journey. And as you can see, some girls did go back to my old stuff and saw that I came from here to, I don't know if I have any pictures of my old stuff, to like here. This is my acting, one of my acting cards, my headshot. But you can see it's a little more full, like fluffy. Now, what I used on here is some amazing stuff. I used the Caraveda. It was some kind of a leave-in. I love it. But because I'm trying to go all Ayurvedic, I'm kind of like holding that back for now until I could try it again. I'm trying to strengthen my hair. But it looks like I've gotten that kind of strength, but look, it's even more defined than it was then. This is the beginning of my journey. I changed my headshots and my acting to show my natural hair. I used to look like this back in the day. I know I look very different here, but I used to look like this. This is the headshot I used about 3-4 years ago. I've gotten older and I've gotten natural, and this was so wonderful, like that Beyonce look, you know, but that was most of my life. I look like that. So, and then when I did my DVD in 2013, at the end of 2013, I still had it on, you know, got all that going, and you can see, you know, that's the look. But then I had my journey, and then I put on that weave. This is one of the pictures for that. And then this was last year. And then I thought, you know, I'm done with this. You know, I'm doing my own hair. And that's when I got to this look. And I thought, my hair looks great, you know. But this was conditioner that made it that nice. I don't know if you can see. It's really nice. But this is my current headshot that I have. This might be a better picture. This is my current headshot. I probably should update it because since then, as you can see, the hair, even though it looks really nice, it has gotten more defined, and now I wear it like this. So I've come a long way in my journey in just the past, since May, you know, and then the past year. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's why you're here, to join me in this journey. Now working to not have to put that weave in for this fall. My goal is to not put the unit in and the weave in, and to keep being able to do this. I'm a fitness instructor, so I want to be able to keep doing this even when it's cold out. And I think I found a way to be able to do it. I think it fits some of the rules of what the protective styles are supposed to do. Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit. I want to pull together some of the stuff that we hear on YouTube of what we're supposed to do and what you are supposed to do with your hair, and how do you figure that out. So many of you give me advice, so you probably already figured it out. And I'm so late in the game, a lot of you already know a lot. My goal, though, is to get you started, you know. I will do another video, and I really hope you watch it, on all of the backgrounds of the holistic part of how it affects your hair. My hair is, I believe, looking really good, and I think it's my deliberate routine that I'm doing. However, I am doing a lot of things internally as well. And I want to do a video just talking about all that other stuff that needs to be done to also get this outcome and get your fitness outcome and all that. But not everybody's interested in that for some reason. They just want to hear, what are you doing to put on your hair? But I hope you understand that there's stuff you're putting in your body as well. Okay, so please join me in the other video that I'm going to do where I talk about the background, the mentality, the way you can, all that other stuff that's behind the scenes that are not always fun, but is part of being a better you, the stuff no one sees, that comes out in your smile, that comes out in your demeanor, and also affects your cortisol level, which affects your hair. Okay, so please join me in that. I may make that part 2. Okay, because if I made it part 1, I don't know if you're going to pay attention. So I'll make it part 2. Part 1, though, I want to talk to you about how do you build your Ayurvedic routine? How do you build it? And why did I pick Ayurvedic routine? Now, I'm going to give you things that you can do to just build a routine. I'm just going to encourage you to make it a natural routine. And the one that I have picked is the Ayurvedic routine. There is, of course, that Shebe I've talked to you about. There's a lady called C-Babe, B-A-B-E. She's been showing everybody. She's one of the first people who have thoroughly walked through her using this very difficult to get Shebe product that's from Chad in Africa. I would have been so on that had I not already been doing my Ayurvedic, because I love natural things. I love the Lord. I know He's put stuff down here on this earth that is enough to heal us internally, to take care of our hair. It's here. Coconut oil was like the rave all over YouTube for a while. That's straight from the Lord. That's the cheapest product you can put in your hair, and that's what I did for the first few years when I had that afro. I washed it, conditioned it, put coconut oil. That's all I knew to do, and it must have worked because I made it through to here until I knew what to do. It tied me over, So if you have no idea what to do, go ahead and wash your hair, deep condition it, put in a leave-in, and get some coconut oil up in there. That's at least something you can do, right? That's what I did. But then as I noticed that I knew there was more. I knew I could do more for my hair, and I knew my hair would do more for me. Ooh, I like that. If I did more for it, and you need to look at it that way. Don't expect so much out of your hair, and don't get mad at it that it don't look like the weave, like I did. Speaking for myself, I'm not speaking to you. Because my hair wouldn't move. I was upset that it wasn't moving. I was upset that it wasn't growing. I was mad at my hair because it didn't do all these things I wanted to do. Because I'm measuring it against something that is not mine. When I took that out, I was upset with my hair for not doing what that did. And I'm like, my poor hair. It's like, well, I'm not that. That's not what I am. I'm something else. Can you take the time? And my daughter said this to me because she was ahead of me. Can you take the time to get to know me and what I need? And then maybe, just maybe, I might do some of the things that you've been wanting me to do. Now that goes for anything. Your marriage, give your spouse that chance to be everything that they can be for you. Support them so that they can be everything for you. But, that's that life coach in me talking. So let me bring that into the hair regimen. To build your Ayurvedic system, I honestly have not read any of the books yet. I haven't read the staple books that you're supposed to read, the Curly Girl book, and there was some other Science of Black Hair book or something. I'll get to it, but I haven't read them. So if I say something that they said, it's because, maybe the Lord put it in my heart, or, He showed me it. He led me to some of the main things. It's an absolute truth that everyone knows is going to find out if they ever paid more attention to this journey. We're all going to arrive at the same absolute truth. You get what I'm saying? So, or I could be ahead of myself. A lot of times I am. God does give me the ability to invent things that no one else thought of. So I don't know. Like my dance fitness program. Before Zumba, I thought of doing a dance fitness program just like it, and now I have Saka. So, a lot of people wouldn't believe that, but it's true. The Lord put that in my heart way back in the day before Zumba even existed. So I'm just getting it. So that's just a side note. But so this may be something God's doing again. I don't know. You let me know if somebody already said it. But remember, I've been talking about being deliberate. That's the first thing. You got to get your mindset on something whenever you're going to do something that's totally different from your normal life. the 5 things. So to build your Ayurvedic system, let's start with the 5 things that any system should have, right? Remember the Patrice's 5 system. Let's find, y'all figure out a way to make this into a thing, and then we can start. Then I can shorten it and I can just call it that. But how about P5S? Something like that. Anyway, so I'm always trying to invent stuff, y'all, so bear with me. Anyway, so you start with cleansing, right? Everybody needs to do it. Doesn't matter what your hair type is. Why would you ask me the question, can you do that with 4C hair? You know, that kind of breaks my heart a little bit when I hear that. And when I go to other channels and I hear people say, can you do this on 4C hair? Natural stuff. And I'm thinking, what are you saying? That 4C hair is, it's hair. And this is natural stuff. Yeah, you can do it on 4C hair. Why couldn't you do it on 4C hair? You know what I mean? Like, what are we saying? That 4C hair is over here somewhere, and then there's the other hair? That's ridiculous. I mean, get that out of your head. The only way you need to worry about that kind of hair different from other hair is when you have man-made products and stuff like that, as far as I understand. You know what I mean? But when it comes down to natural products, why couldn't you put coconut oil on 4C hair? Or why can't you put like avocado oil on 4C hair? 4C hair is just hair. This is a different curl pattern. Think about it. It's just hair that's a different curl pattern. So you just got to fit the products that fit it. And where you need to be more concerned is with man-made products. Is it made for that type of hair? But for natural things, yeah, it's hair. So it's how you put it in there probably that you're probably asking. And that's what I want to talk about today. So let me give you an overview of what I'd like to talk about as I get into it. I want to talk about building your regimen, and I want it to be the Ayurvedic regimen for these purposes of what I do. And I also want to help you understand porosity if you don't know porosity, and why that's so important to know as you build your regimen, why that is connected to you building your regimen, because you're so unique in your hair. Your hair can look like mine, but it may not be working and responding like mine does to things. So as much as you might think by just looking at it that it's like mine, you may not know that it's not, unless you went through my routine and saw how it reacted to things. That's how you know it's like mine. You can't know your hair is like mine just by looking at the outcome. Maybe we have similar curl patterns, or it looks fine, or whatever. Those kinds of things can be similar. But in terms of how my hair reacts to products and the way yours reacts to product, the only way you would know that is if I showed you how it reacted to the product, or if you actually felt it or whatever, right? So you really have to think of all those things when you're looking at all these channels. So keep those things in mind. But the overview of what I want to talk about in this channel and in this video and then in the next video is building your Ayurvedic hair regimen system, and then the back stuff that you need to also be doing to make sure that it's at its optimum level of health and sheen and all the good stuff. The stuff that you need to be doing behind the scenes that may not be the most fun, it's not the stuff that's on YouTube that everybody's talking about, but it really is important to really get what you're trying to do. And I believe in lifestyle, not in, I'm just going to do this for 6 months and then I'm going to try something else. I don't believe in that. I believe in doing things for a lifestyle. Okay? So I want to talk about that stuff in the next video. But for this video, I want to talk about your porosity level, and I want to talk about what it means to have a system in general, and then what it means to have an Ayurvedic system like mine. Talk about my Ayurvedic system, I should say. You can create one that's different. Okay, so, and I definitely, understand it if you want to go to other channels and just kind of put it together like I did. So use me as one of the channels maybe that you look at. I don't know. All right, so the first thing is those 5 things, okay? Everybody, I don't care about your texture. It doesn't matter your hair type. It doesn't matter about your porosity level, the length. It doesn't matter. Everybody needs to cleanse their hair. And when I say cleanse, I'm going to just boldly say, unless you can tell me otherwise, not just pre-pooing. I'm talking about a level of literally cleansing all of the products out of your hair. At one point in your regular routine, you need to be cleaning everything out of your hair. Okay? That's the first thing. Second thing is, it would be very important for you at one point in your regimen, however you do that, and we'll talk about how often something can be done or not. But in your regimen, plan for a strengthening, a type of strengthening needs to be in your routine. Whether you choose to do an Ayurvedic one or not. Please find something that works with your hair type. Now your hair type does matter for that, but even if you have, doesn't matter what your hair type is, find the thing that works for it and make sure that you are strengthening your hair. Now, since you're strengthening your hair, there needs to be a balancing act going on here, and that's important for our hair. We need to strengthen it, but we also now need to moisturize it and condition it. It's very important that we deep condition it. Where did Patrice get that from? Well, when we look at all of the YouTube channels, everybody that's got the hair down here, there's some common things they say. Every single person with healthy, beautiful hair on YouTube says moisturize. They say if there's nothing you do but deep condition, you need to do it. So what am I going to tell my people that I love, my lovelies over here? Please take heed, because it's working for them. So if I know you've been on these other channels, and deep conditioning is the key component of what they're doing. How do you do it? How often? How long? All that. We can get into that later. And that's the biggest point I think a lot of you are looking for, because that's what I was looking for. And I was looking for that even in Curly Proverbs videos. And I didn't see her regimen the way that I needed to, so I had to like figure stuff out myself, you know, because I think, I don't know what stage I went on with her, but maybe I needed to go further back where she was showing it for the first time or something. But I think the ones I saw, I had a hard time seeing every step, you know what I mean, exactly the way it should be, because I think she evolved and she did some things and then later she learned some more things, and so I don't think I got to see how she did it originally. So I didn't get that. So I had to kind of figure that out on my own. So if that's what you're needing, I get you. Trust me. So I'm going to help you with that too. So this might be a 3-video thing. Anyway, so definitely we did the cleansing. We need to moisturize, and we need to deep condition. Okay, moisturizing and conditioning is what's underneath that umbrella. Is deep conditioning. It's leave-in conditioning, it's hydrating, it is the hydration step. And hydration step starts, the best way to hydrate your hair is water. So that step is water, of course, first. But to keep it in there, to get through the shaft, we need to deep condition, okay? Depending on your hair type and your porosity level, that is going to depend on how we do these things, okay? The what's are what I'm talking about now. Then I'm going to talk about the hows. The hows would have to do with your hair porosity level and possibly your hair type, but more your porosity level. Then we need, once we're done with all of that, we did our leave-in, however we decide to do that step, then we need to do our sealing, okay? And once we seal, however we seal, okay? You could do a butter. You could do an oil. You could do whatever you do to seal. You could double seal. You could do the oil and then the butter. I don't know. But I believe oils is where that should fit. Right? And then after you do your oils, can you do that in your deep conditioning? Yes, I do put some oils in my deep conditioning. But then I do my oils. Then after the oil, then you now are done basically with the hair care or the nutrition and the part of the regimen of actually caring for your hair. Now, this last step can be also a part of the caring for your hair, and it needs to be a part of it. It needs to work with the caring for your hair, I should say, okay? So it could be your gel, it could be your butters, it could be your styling, some kind of styling, whatever you choose. If you do twist outs, there are some wonderful styling things out there for twist outs. If you're a wash and go like me, there are some gels for that. You know, whatever that is for the styling portion of your hair, that's where you do it. I believe Curly Proverbs does a double thing where she does the oil and then she does a butter or something. And that's just sticking, she's just taking care of her hair and it just happens to look beautiful. So a butter, sometimes that's just part of my care for my hair. I don't really care about the gels and all the styles and stuff. I'm just going to keep taking care of my hair and just put an extra layer of something good for my hair, which I think would be perfect for the winter. But that can be whatever you want it to be. But for what I believe, it must fit in with caring for your hair. It cannot have those alcohols in it and all that other stuff. It can't just be for the purpose of looking good, or you have undone all this hard stuff you did here. So in my Patrice's Ayurvedic regimen suggestions, I don't think that that gel should be a gel or a product or any kind of a dressing that goes against everything you just worked so hard for. Okay? So it's extremely important that it fits something healthy. And the thing that I think would be a good thing to go by is go by the Curly Girl method and find out the botanicals that they approve. That can be a good start. Because some people have already done some things. Curly Proverbs, she's so wonderful. This is like her strength, okay? Her strength is looking at products and doing the research so that, you know, she's making sure she's a stickler for that stuff, and she is not putting that stuff in her hair unless she goes deep into it. She even teaches you when things are written like they're high, like it's like it is a mineral oil, which we've learned from her and other people that is really bad for your hair. She found out other words that they're using to hide that it's a mineral. That's what's so wonderful about Curly Proverbs, what she's done to help the hair community. And for me, the stuff I'm not willing to do, I'm not going that far. So I'm gonna just keep it real. So I'm gonna go where others say, I got too much to do. So I can't, you know what I mean? I got lots of degrees and I could, but I can't right now. So I'm so grateful to her that she is that researcher. She's that girl that's going to go and she ain't going to play. She's looking at everything and she's looking at the name. She's like, wait a minute. That's just another name for mineral oil. So she literally has a video where she's telling you, look, if you see these words, that is mineral oil. Don't put that in your hair. So that's what I think is her strength. I think she's amazing. I think she's already proven that she must know what she's talking about. Her hair's down to her butt. So, I mean, I totally would take her advice. She's decided she's going to use a certain conditioner for that step. Guess who's doing it? Because she already went through the steps. She already read the back of it. She's a stickler for it, and I trust her on that. You know what I mean? So that's why she has had a big impact on my Ayurvedic system, because I trust. And you know what I like about her? You know, I have to just keep it real. I'm not going to sit here and not admit to how I've been blessed, you know? What I love about her compared to everybody else is you go back to her a year later, guess what she's doing? The same thing. That's a lifestyle. That means she's on to something. You know, the Ayurvedic system is a lifestyle, and it's something that you could do long term. Women have done this in the Indian world, in the Asian Indian community for centuries. Okay? So obviously, you know, we got to get off this bandwagon of, oh, look at the new product, new product, new product. You know, if our hair is the most delicate hair out there, and let's talk about that 4C, you know, especially the 4C. That is true. The 4C hair is delicate, and I can see why you're concerned. If our hair is that delicate, why are we changing products more than everybody else? Why are we playing around with so many products? So we need to be careful with that. And we need to get more natural and stick with something. And I know sometimes our hair will love something and then not like it later. Yeah, I get that. That makes sense. But notice it's with man-made products that happens a lot of times. Now, I heard that with coconut oil. Natural 85 had to stop using coconut oil because her hair stopped liking it, which whatever that means. But I've heard that. So I know our hair changes. I know as women we have hormones. We have babies. We go through menopause, and it's very hormonal. So there could be a lot of that going on. Maybe our hair just needed a break and we can go back to it. But it turns out that she literally had to stop. And I trust her and I believe her. So obviously it can happen. I get it. And that's a natural product. So I would look out for that. Be careful for that because it is strong. Coconut is very strong. So I think early in your journey, definitely use it, but keep an eye on it and make sure it's fine. Now, it didn't happen for Curly Proverbs. She still uses coconut oil, and it doesn't happen for a lot of Asian, Indian cultures. They still use coconut oil. Coconut oil has been the staple product that gets them hair down to their butt. I'm telling you, okay? So don't believe the hype that not everybody's having a problem with coconut oil. So if you're not, please keep that in your regimen. Black castor oil, coconut oil, things, and those are the two ones I'm hearing everybody repeating, and aloe vera gel. Those are some things like that. Okay, so I'll do a whole video on what I'm hearing is growing people's hair. But back to the system. If you're going to get a product that's outside of the natural system, please make sure that you are paying attention to the ingredients and that it fits certain guidelines that you trust. So Kelly Proverbs, look at her videos and see what guidelines she uses, because I trust her. She's Ayurvedic. Might as well go ahead and see any videos she's doing on what not to put in your hair. Look at some other people that you know really are stickler for these things. Maybe there's some other people I just haven't come across that are like that. Go to the Curly Girl Method. They actually have approved by botanical products. So if you're going to add in your strength any other products other than these natural herbs, please make sure that they are healthy. They don't have mineral oil. They don't have, there are some proteins that we shouldn't have in our hair for certain protein sensitive people. Make sure you are, if I were you, I would pretend I'm protein sensitive when I'm starting off, pretend I'm everything sensitive, and just kind of start bare bottom, the most sensitive stuff out there. And then add in coconut oil. See what happens to your hair. Do it for a week or two, you know? Give it like a 2 weeks. Somebody said 2 weeks are good to try. Then if nothing's going on, keep the coconut oil. You know what I'm saying? So when you're building your regimen, start as natural and as pure as possible. Get some guidelines on anything that is not natural that we have to do, like when we have to add in our conditioner or deep conditioner, and we have to add in our gel, right? Those are the two things. Now, I think you should strengthen your hair. The strengthening step, I think it should be the Ayurvedic. That's what makes it the Ayurvedic program. So if you're not going to do Ayurvedic and you're going to use another protein strengthening program, that is not an Ayurvedic system. So what makes this an Ayurvedic system is that Ayurvedic products moisturize, but their biggest thing is they strengthen your hair. So that strengthening step would be completely Ayurvedic. So you're choosing Ayurvedic systems for the strengthening. And it's also in all the other ones, but the main thing is you're using it for the strengthening and you're using it for conditioner, but it's kind of in every step, but especially the strengthening. So what makes an Ayurvedic system an Ayurvedic system is that it's in your stuff, most of what you're doing, but especially you're using it as your strengthening step, which would be, remember my video on the mask, the gloss, or the oils. You are using that strengthening step is your Ayurvedic, is your step for that, okay? Okay, so that's what makes a definition that of my 5 steps, Patrice, I've chosen to use Ayurvedic as my system, and in my strengthening step, you can see it because that's what I've chosen as my strengthening step. I'm either going to do an Ayurvedic mask with henna in it, or cassia, and all those other herbs. I'm going to pick an Ayurvedic herb, I'm going to use it as my strengthener. I'm going to either do my mask, Ayurvedic mask, I'm going to either do an Ayurvedic gloss or an Ayurvedic oil when I do my strengthening part of my 5 steps. That's what you're saying when you picked an Ayurvedic system for your 5 steps. If you are going to take the 5 steps, but you decided I'm going to just pick and choose what I use for each thing, that is not going to be your Ayurvedic. That's not an Ayurvedic system as far as I'm concerned. It is a system that has maybe some Ayurvedic things in it, maybe, if you choose to. You're picking and choosing. You're using different products for everything, and you're just trying to keep it as natural as possible. That's what you're doing. But I wouldn't call that an Ayurvedic system. You see what I'm saying? Because you're not doing the masks, you're not doing the glosses and stuff. So you could choose to not do an Ayurvedic system, and that would mean that you could use the some other protein thing for that strengthener. You can use something different for your conditioner. You use some other thing for your hot oil treatment. You see what I'm saying? Putting some other oils in there. Has nothing to do with the herbs, of Ayurvedic herbs, but you're putting some oils in there, and you're putting whatever gel you want. You're washing with whatever. That's just, I've chosen what I feel like doing for my 5 steps. And that's your prerogative. You can choose to do that because you can just pick, you can go through, but I still suggest that you use guidelines that are Curly Girl. I believe they have, I'm just going by hearsay, so excuse me if I'm wrong, but I understand that they give you a guideline for botanical products. So I would still look for botanical products for all those steps. Okay? Let me clarify. If you're not Ayurvedic, that means the cleansing that you're going to use is a product that's man-made, but they might have some great things in it. I would go and look for a product that is botanical, like the Curly Girl. If you're going to strengthen, you're not going to use Ayurvedic stuff. That means you're not using the herbs. So I'm going to go and find, I think it's QT. There's some kind of protein out there that you can use. I'm going to use coconut oil. I'm going to use whatever I want to use. I'm going to just do a protein treatment for my strengthener. Okay? I'm not going to use Ayurvedic. I'm not going to use the herbs. I'm going to use just a conditioner that I really like for my deep conditioner. See what I'm saying? And for my sealant, I'm just going to use avocado oil. See what I'm saying? And then at the end, I will use my Kinky Curly Custard. So that is not an Ayurvedic system. That's just a good, healthy system that you can do. Okay? So that's something you can choose to do. Just make sure, in my opinion, stay as natural as you can, and make sure those ingredients in the back have no minerals in them, and none of the and go to Carry the Powers and find out what other names that can look like that. If you're protein sensitive, find out if you are, and make sure that whatever you're using for the protein treatment, that it is conducive for protein sensitive hair. And I don't know how that's going to work. I don't see how you're going to do it. I think I am protein sensitive. That's why I went Ayurvedic. So maybe Ayurvedic is good for people who are protein sensitive. And how do you know that these things don't work? If these things don't work, that means you're getting little ringlets in your hand and all over the sink and think your hair is breaking and falling out. That's how you know you are protein sensitive, or the products are not working on your hair. You should stop right away. Shalonda 1 is the one that said that. And I heard her clearly. I will give names because I don't see why not. I want you to know who I've learned things from. She said, stop right away. Don't use it anymore. Stop, pull it out, and continue to see if that's the thing. This is how you know you're going to get breakage. Your hair, you know how long your hair is, right? So if I don't see hair that long in the sink, then I know that it's breaking. It's this long. Did you just see that? My hair, my nails are desperately needing to get done. And I want to tell you a little tip. I use no combs in my hair, right? I'm pulling on it, and that's sometimes why I have breakage from my nails. So be mindful of all these little things, because it tugged at it. And so keep those things in mind, okay? So if you're not going to do this Ayurvedic system that I'm giving you that's already set for you, then if you're going to make your own because you just want to, maybe it's cheaper, you know? Or maybe you don't feel like you need to, as long as you're doing those steps, you know? Because there are a lot of people on YouTube who have hair down their butt, and they're not using the Ayurvedic system. They're using some of the oils sometimes, and they're using those basic things like coconut oil and stuff, but they're not necessarily using the Ayurvedic. But they have a different textured hair. They can handle it, whatever the case is. So if you do that, I just strongly encourage you to make sure each product has been looked at, and you know what's in it, and you know that it works with your type of hair. And that is where your hair type might come in if you're 4C. Then you do have to start thinking about that stuff. Look at other people that are 4C. Make sure that that product's working for them. It's not breaking. It's not, you know what I mean? It really is working. So you have to do more work if you're going to create your own stuff to put in each step. But I have already done the work if you want to do an Ayurvedic system. So it has Curly Proverbs and some other people probably. So if you want to do what I've done, I'm going to tell you why I've done what I've done. Okay? So there. I don't know how long the video is. Okay, so I'm going to stop this video now, and I'm going to do a part 2, okay? So stay tuned.